You know, working in the manufactured home space, I get asked a lot of questions. But one question that I get quite often is, Justin, how do I go about properly buying and moving a manufactured home? Well, you're in luck. Today, I'm going to be discussing the top 5 steps to properly buying and moving a manufactured home here in the state of Michigan. Let's go. What's going on, great people out there? My name is Justin Ivy. I am a regional manufactured home specialist here in the Metro Detroit area and in the state of Michigan. I have literally helped hundreds of people buy, sell, and finance manufactured homes, and I'd love the opportunity to do the same for you. But in order to do that, I need to hear from you. So please give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. I want to hear from you. Also too, my contact information is in the description box below, and it's also right here. I want to hear from you guys, and I want to be of assistance any way I can. Also too, please leave a comment in the comment box below. If you have a comment on today's video, last week's video, or the week before that, or if you have ideas and things you'd like for us to cover on future videos, please leave it in the comment box and we'll definitely look at it and take it into consideration moving forward. Also too, and finally, please like and subscribe our channel. Here in Manufactured Homes in Michigan, YouTube likes the fact that we're putting out great content on all things manufactured homes. Also too, it makes us feel warm and fuzzy that you guys are consuming this great content, and we want to keep giving you guys great information on all things manufactured homes. So again, today we're going to be discussing the top 5 steps to buy and properly move a manufactured home. Here we go. You know, with the rise of interest rates and home prices here in the Metro Detroit area and even throughout the state of Michigan, you know, a lot of people who might have at one point been able to afford a single family home, now because of those things going higher and higher and higher, it kind of puts them out of the running. But at the same time, they still need a place to live, an affordable place to live. So a lot of people are getting creative right now. And one of those creative ways is to buy and move a manufactured home. So I'm going to break down the top 5 steps to properly buy and move a manufactured home. Here we go. Step number 1, secure a suitable location. Now, when we talk about securing a suitable location, there are 3 things that you want to consider. Number 1, land ownership. Number 2, zoning laws. And number 3, utilities. So let's talk about land ownership for a second. That one's pretty cut and dry. Do you own the land or don't you own the land? Well, if you already have a piece of property in place, awesome. You're already stepping in the right direction. So the next step would be to make sure that it's properly zoned for a manufactured home. If you don't have a piece of land or a piece of property, that's the first thing that you need to do. I recommend that if you're looking for a piece of land to have your manufactured home sit on, you want to work with an experienced real estate agent that specializes in land. Most real estate agents, at least the ones that I know, usually work around single family homes or commercial property, commercial buildings and things of that nature. But you want to work with a real estate agent that specializes in land. The reason you want to work with an agent that specializes in land because they're going to help you make the proper phone calls and get you the proper contacts to talk to in regards to the city and county departments, zoning departments, to make sure that that piece of property is properly zoned or can be properly zoned to have a manufactured home sit on it. Okay? Now, once that property has been zoned for manufactured homes, utilities is the next step. You want to make sure that you're able to run your electricity, your water, your sewage, and even your gas onto that piece of property. So when we talk about a suitable location for your manufactured home, you want to make sure that you own the land, okay? And if you don't own one, you want to get one and use a real estate agent that specializes in land to do that. You want to make sure that that land is properly zoned for manufactured homes. Again, an experienced real estate agent that works within land is going to help you make those phone calls and talk to the people in the city and county levels to make sure that that land is zoned or can get zoned for manufactured home. And number 3, once it's properly zoned, you want to make sure that you're able to run your utilities, your water, your sewage, your gas, your electricity, all those different things to that piece of property. So that's step number 1, suitable location. Step number 2, research and choosing the right home. Now, this one is also pretty self-explanatory, but when it comes to researching and choosing the right home, there's at least 3 things you need to take into consideration. Number 1, types and features. Number 2, your budget. And number 3, inspection. Let's talk about types and features for a second. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I shot a video. Here's the video right here, where we broke down the benefits and differences between a single wide and a double wide. Please refer back to that video. In fact, I'll even drop a link in the description box below where we break down the benefits and differences of a single wide and a double wide home. That video actually might be able to be a benefit to you in regards to what your decision-making process is going to be. But when we talk about types and features, there's some things you do need to take into consideration. How many bathrooms do you want? How many bedrooms do you want? Do you want an open floor plan? Do you want something a little bit more closed off? Are you going to be making add-ons? What size of a single wide or a double wide are you looking for? Those type of things. What year of the home are you looking for? Those are the different things that you need to take into consideration. In fact, when we talk about the year of the home, many counties and municipalities here in the state of Michigan only allow certain age homes or higher in their communities. So that's something to take into consideration as well when you're researching and choosing a home. So when we talk about researching and choosing a home, how many bathrooms do you want? How many bedrooms? Do you want an open floor plan? Are you going to be making add-ons? What is the least year that city or municipality would accept? And once you determine those things, what is your budget going to be? How much money are you looking to spend on this home? Now, when you're buying and moving a home, let's talk about that for a second. We recommend when you're looking to buy and have a home moved, we recommend that you buy a used home. Now, Justin, why a used home instead of a brand new home? Because if you're looking to do a used home, you're going to save a significant amount of money. Newer homes, although they're very nice, are very expensive right now. I've seen newer homes anywhere between, for single wides, $80,000 to double wides as much as $150,000 to $160,000. From our perspective, that's not deemed affordable housing when it regards to manufactured homes. So if you're looking to buy and move a manufactured home, you're either going to be one of two things. Either you have the cash available to buy and have it moved, or your credit is in good standing enough where you can get a personal loan to use that money to buy and have the home moved. Whichever best option works for you. So when we talk about a budget, how much money do you want to spend on that single wide and double wide home? And how are you going to go about buying that home? Are you going to have to use the cash outright to buy and have it moved? Or are you going to be able to take some type of personal loan to be able to buy and have the home moved? Now, why can't we get financed? Most banks and credit unions are not going to finance manufactured homes at all. And we're talking about an approved manufactured home lender. They're only going to do that if that home is going to stay in that community. And since you're not keeping in that community and you're having it moved, your only two options at this point is to buy cash or to take out a personal loan from whatever financial institution that you bank with and use that money to have it purchased and moved out of that community. Now, let's talk about inspections for a second. Once you buy the home and have it secured, you want to make sure that you get an inspection. Why? Because you don't want to go through all the trouble of buying and having it moved and you never got it inspected, and then all these issues within the home start to come up when you could have just spent the $250 to $350 and had the inspection. That way you could have saved yourself a lot of trouble. So when we talk about buying and choosing the right homes, there are three things you need to take into consideration: types and features, the budget, and inspection. Know what kind of home you want, how you want it to look, features of the home, bedrooms, bathrooms, things like that. How much do you want to spend on that home? How are you going to go about purchasing that home? Cash, buying it and having it moved, or getting some type of personal loan and buying it and having it moved. And also after you purchase the home, you want to be able to get it inspected to make sure whatever issues that might be in that home is something that isn't going to be an issue for you. Or if there are issues with the home or major issues in the home, you can save yourself the trouble and go find another home. So that's step number 2, researching and choosing the right home. Step number 3, purchase and insurance. Now, I kind of touched on this in the point before, point number 2, but we'll dive a little bit more detail here in point number 3. So we talk about purchase and insurance. There are 3 things you need to take into consideration. Number 1, the cash purchase. Number 2, financing. And number 3, insurance. Let's talk about cash purchase for a second. Now, in our opinion, and what we recommend with buyers is that when you're looking to buy and move a manufactured home, you want to do it cash. It's quick, it's easy, and it's the most cost-effective way. Now, you can either buy it cash, or you can also contact your financial institution, and if your credit is in good standing, you can get a personal loan, and then you can use that money to buy and have the manufactured home moved, whatever works for you. Now, one of the other options that you can do when we talk about financing, most banks and credit unions already will not finance manufactured homes, but there are approved manufactured home lenders. Now, when it comes to manufactured home lenders, they will not finance the purchase and move of a used manufactured home, okay? The approved manufactured home lenders will not finance the purchase and moving of a used manufactured home out of a community, okay? What they will do is that they will finance the purchase and move a brand new manufactured home to wherever it is that you want it to go, whether it's to a manufactured home community or your own piece of property. Now, I wish those approved manufactured home lenders would finance the purchase and move of a used manufactured home to a piece of property that you own, but they just don't do that for whatever their reasons are. So when it comes to financing is only applied is if you're buying a brand new manufactured home from the dealer and having it moved to your piece of property. That's the only time you'll be able to get financing, and that financing is going to come from an approved manufactured home lender. Let's talk about insurance for a second. When we're looking at insurance for a manufactured home, you want to make sure, in fact, you can even give us a call here at our office and we'll get you the information of the insurance companies that will insure manufactured homes. Not everybody does it, not everybody wants to do it. So it's important that when you go through all this trouble to buy and move your manufactured home and have it installed, you want to make sure that not only do you have insurance, but you have the right insurance that fits your needs and the home that you're getting as well. So when we talk about point number 3, purchase and insurance, again, those 3 things that you need to take into consideration. Number 1, cash purchase. Number 2, financing. And number 3, insurance. You want to make sure all those things are in line. All right, here we go. Point number 4, hiring a professional moving company. Now, when you buy the home, you've had it inspected, you have the money ready, you've purchased the home. Now it's time to hire a professional manufactured home moving company. Now, here's the thing. There aren't a lot of these companies available here in the state of Michigan. So when it comes to scheduling an appointment to have the home moved, I usually tell buyers that you're probably gonna have to expect to have your home moved anywhere between 30 to 45 days, even as much as 60 days. Why? Because these guys are busy moving homes for other people and for communities as well. So there aren't a lot of manufactured home movers around. Now, I think the smart thing, if you're ambitious, I would start a manufactured home moving company. You would do great financially, but we'll save that for another day. So when it comes to hiring a professional manufactured home moving company, I want you to kind of properly set your expectations to understand that there aren't a lot of them around, particularly here in the state of Michigan, and also anticipate waiting between 30 to 60 days or anywhere in between so they can put you on their schedule so they can have the home moved as well. You want to make sure that the home that you're dealing with is a reputable company. What do I mean by reputable? Making sure they're properly insured, making sure they have their proper paperwork with the state of Michigan, making sure that they're bonded as well. And what's their company name? If they have any reviews online, you want to look that up as well. So you want to make sure that they have a good reputation in regards to having the home moved. Permits and regulations. Now, depending upon where that home is, what city that home sits in, you may or may not have to pull permits. So it really just depends, and your mover, if they're experienced, should be aware of that. So when it comes to selecting a professional or hiring a professional manufactured home mover, you want to make sure that they're also able to pull the permits if they're necessary in order to have the home moved. Preparation. Now, when it comes to properly preparing a manufactured home to be moved, typically what they're going to do is they're going to arrive a few days before the home is actually moved. If it's a single wide, they're going to get it, take the skirting off and do everything they need to do with the home to make sure that when they arrive a couple of days later, they're able to put it on the back of the truck properly, load it, and get it on the way. Now, when we're talking about moving a double wide, they are definitely going to come a couple of days prior to actually moving the home, because not only do they need to prep the home, they also need to split it. Again, In my previous video, I mentioned how when it comes to moving a double wide, you have to properly split the home, and it's basically two singles put together to make a double wide. So they have to come and properly split the home. Again, a professional manufactured home mover knows how to do these things. That's what they're going to do as far as their process in terms of making sure that the home is moved properly and safely. Now, when it comes to hiring a professional manufactured home company, you want to research the right company for you. You want to make sure that they're properly able to pull permits and regulations. And you want to make sure that the home is properly prepped for the move, whether it's a single wide or a double wide. Point number 4, hiring a professional manufactured home mover. And step number 5, setup and installation. Now, when we talk about setup and installation, there are a few things you need to take into consideration. Number 1, the foundation. Number 2, utility connections. Number 3, inspection. And number 4, final touches. Let's talk about foundation for a second. Now, when you purchase the home and you're having it moved, you want to make sure your foundation is getting set up and properly in place, properly prepped. One of the ways you're able to make sure that it's properly prepped is to determine what type of foundation do you want. Do you want just a solid slab foundation? Do you want a basement? Those are things that you need to look at, because whatever it is you decide, the home is going to sit on that foundation. Now, because we're in the state of Michigan, most people want a basement, so they're able to, make sure that a basement is properly cut out and the concrete is poured so that when the home gets there, it'll sit right on top, no problem. Now, when we talk about utility connections, again, like I mentioned in the previous point, you want to make sure that your utilities are able to flow to your piece of property and ultimately to your home properly. So, can the water get there? Can the sewage get there? Can your gas get there? Can your electricity get there? Those are things that you need to take into consideration. Inspection. When a home is installed and put on the piece of land, there's what's called a post inspection that has to be done, because the city and the county needs to make sure that this home has been properly inspected for the safety of everyone in the home and the safety of everyone involved, and any type of lawsuits that they don't want to run into. So when a home has been installed on that piece of property, the city mandates that you have a post-installation inspection to make sure that the home was installed and inputted properly. And then at that point, you can add whatever final touches that you want on that particular home. You want to add a garage? Do you want to add a swimming pool in the back? Whatever it is that floats your boat in terms of what to add on the home. So when we talk about point number 5, setup and installation, the few things that you want to consider. Number 1, the foundation. Is it flat slab? Did you pour out concrete to put a basement in? Number 2, utility connections. You want to make sure that your gas, your electricity, your water, utility. When it comes to utility connection, you want to make sure your sewage, your water, your electricity, and your gas are able to flow to that property efficiently. And number 3, inspection. There's what's called a post-installation inspection that has to be done, because for the safety of everyone involved, they need to make sure that the home has been properly installed for everyone's safety. They don't want to run into any lawsuits or anything like that. And then point number 4, final touches. What do you want to add on the home? Do you want to add a deck? Do you want to add a garage? Whatever it is that you want to add, you are also able to do so at that point. So those are the 4 points within point number 5, setup and installation. Whew, that was a long one. But as always, I hope you enjoyed today's video as I enjoyed making it. We just want to make sure that we're getting all the information out there on all things manufactured home to everyone, because people have different questions and we want to make sure that we answer them effectively and make sure that we get all the information out there. Now, again, if you have more detailed questions in regards to today's video or future videos, please reach out to us. Again, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. I want to hear from you. Also, too, leave a comment in today's comment box below. I want to hear from you guys. Were there some things that I missed in regards to the purchasing and moving of a manufactured home? Please let me know. Drop it into the comment box. Let's get better together. That's what I always say. If there's something I missed, I'm not perfect, but let's get better together in case I missed anything. Also, too, if you have ideas on future videos that you'd like for us to cover, drop that in the comment box below. Also, too, my contact information is in the description box below, and it's also right here. And finally, please like and subscribe to today's channel. YouTube loves the fact that we're putting out great content and detailed content in regards to all things manufactured homes. Also too, it makes us feel good that you guys are consuming this great information in regards to manufactured homes, and we're being of service to you guys to make sure that we answer all your questions in regards to manufactured homes. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. Until next time, be blessed, take care, and we'll talk to you soon.